Hey there, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day 22 of albums that are 30 years old in 2022 as we're looking back to 1992, right? That's the year. That is the theme of this show all month long. We are kind of taking a look at our favorite releases that came out in 1992 that are celebrating their 30th birthdays this year, the 30th anniversary. Today we got the sixth studio album from this particular U.S. band, released February 25th, 1992, produced by Terry Date, released on the Atco label. Of course, we're talking about Vulgar Display of Power from Pantera. There we go, right there. There are the guys in the band. Parental advisory, explicit lyrics. Woo! Scary stuff, right? This is the second album of the kind of resurgence or reinvention of Pantera after those first four albums, which, three with another singer, fourth album with Phil Anselmo, definitely different stylistic-wise. Then, of course, with Cowboys from Hell, their fifth album, they kind of turned into more of like this groove metal, thrash metal type of a hybrid thing. And I think that style really kind of came into prominence even to its fullest on Vulgar Display of Power. Like I mentioned, you got Phil Anselmo on vocals. You've got Diamond Darrell, as he was still known at the time, Dimebag Darrell, on guitars. His brother Vinnie Paul. On drums, Rex Brown. On bass, the classic lineup of the band, obviously. A killer album. You could argue, talking about like the best Pantera albums. Could be this one, could be the one before it, could be the one after it. Those generally are looked at as the three key Pantera albums. I kind of like the early ones too. I think they're pretty cool, right? For what they are. But we're talking about this album today. So yeah, this is a milestone album. This was, especially for here in North America, 1992, a time in music history where you've got grunge and alternative music really starting to, sell huge numbers, all the rage. And a lot of those metal bands from the 80s are starting to kind of either fall by the wayside or trying to figure out what to do. Maybe they're doing grungy music too, just trying to stay relevant with what's going on in the world. Maybe they go into the young ground. You got extreme metal is starting to make some waves, right? Especially down from Florida and from Scandinavia. But here, mainstream music, metal all of a sudden is kind of frowned upon. However, Pantera comes out and they're selling millions and millions and millions of albums. They're packing big arenas, and basically Pantera is a top 10 band amidst all this other stuff that's not metal. So one of the kind of shining stars of the metal scene at the time that's still doing huge business alongside, a handful of other bands. You still got Metallica and Megadeth still doing pretty big business, right? But there's not a ton of other bands that are really, really selling and really kind of still making waves with mainstream listeners, because mainstream listeners are all of a sudden, deciding that all the best music is coming out of Seattle, or, the hip hop scene is starting to make waves. Dance music is really popular at this time as well. So people's tastes are changing. Kind of happens every time a new decade starts, right? So here we've got some great kickoff tracks. You got Mouth for War and A New Level. I mean, just two really, really intense songs to kick this album off. Then you got Walk, right? One of the most popular anthems from this band. I'm pretty sick of the song personally, but it's still, I remember being totally into it when this album came out. You got Fucking Hostile, which is just raging and just intense. You got This Love, which is kind of like this moody, ballady song, and then it just kicks in high energy metal. You got Rise. You got No Good, Attack the Radical. You got Live in a Hole. How intense and furious is that song? Regular People. Back in the call by Demons, Be Driven. Probably, if not my favorite Pantera song, it's number 2. Just absolutely killer. Love the production and the guitar sound in this album. And then, of course, you've got Hollow to finish it all off. When it just intense, this album cover perfectly exemplifies what you're going to experience on this album. It is a lethal punch to the face. That is the best way to describe it. And I know Pantera's not for everybody. Totally get that. But I always really dug them. And I have found that over time, I think I like them even more. There's just this attitude, a lot of piss and vinegar, just big, huge riffs and Dime's crazy shredding lead guitar style. It's just a really, really different sounding band, and it's just amazing that the general public caught on to these guys. I think that's the crazy thing, but kind of cool at the same time. So there you have it. Vulgar display of power. Let us know what you think of this album in the comments below, as well as your pick for day 22 here on albums that are 30 years old in 2022. So also visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. Thanks for watching. I am Pete Pardo. Tune in tonight in the Prague seat. Coming up later on today, we're going to talk about a couple of classic albums that kind of border on Prague. Are they Prague or aren't they Prague? We're going to talk about two of them tonight. Queen 2 and Tommy by The Who. We've got our panel of experts together. We're going to talk about why we feel these two particular albums, even though the bands themselves might not be prog bands, but why these albums kind of might be considered. So that's what's coming up tonight. Stay tuned for that. New album review day tomorrow. New product review day, I should say, because we got some book reviews coming up for you tomorrow as well. We've got Thursday is the Monsters Den. We're going to rank the movies. I was going to say rank the music, rank the films of Ray Harryhausen. So if you are a Ray Harryhausen fan, you love all those little stop motion creatures, monsters, and dinosaurs and things like that. 15 films he added his expertise to. We're going to rank all 15 of them. So that's coming up on Thursday. And then Friday morning, the Funhouse. Martin Popoff and myself. Saturday morning is the UK Connection. Saturday afternoon, I should say, here in the States. We've got Simon Bray and Stephen Reed on board, as always, for a little rant episode. And then we've got on Sunday, we have album homework assignment, Sidney Taylor and Nick Franco from the Hudson Valley Squares going head-to-head. That is coming up this Sunday. So stay tuned for that and a lot more here on the channel. Thanks for watching, everybody. I think I said visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. See you tomorrow morning with another album that is 30 years old in 2022. I am Pete Pardo. See you soon. Bye-bye.